it's up to Rue. And if Rue's not feeling it that day, she's like, hit it. Thanks for coming. You did great in Snatch Game. Goodbye.
Bonnie, I just am going to say this. Firstly, I'm such a fan of yours, and I have been since I first. We actually met earlier this year, but genuinely, I was so excited when I heard you were on the show, and for good reason, as we've now learned.
It's all worked out.
How are you feeling after watching the episode back last night?
You know what? It's like I've been waiting so long for the series to come out. Like we filmed it months and months ago, and I've known what it's like the outcome of the series has been. So it's been hard kind of keeping those secrets in and not talking about it too much because towards the end it was a bit of a roller coaster. It was up and then it was down. So it just feels great though. Like the response that I've received has been so overwhelmingly positive from everybody. And we know how horrible people can be online. And I just have felt so much positivity from people th about like my run with Snatch Game, with whatever. But even this episode, like it was for my elimination episode, it was such a positive episode, and there was so much joy in it, and it was just I'm really like happy to have been a part of that, you know?
Yeah, what you just touched on there, actually, I was going to bring up later, but since we're on it now, we'll dive straight in. I think, I said this actually to Paige last week, and it does apply to you as well. I think there's sometimes queens that come onto this show that just get met with such universal love from the fandom, which is so rare because, look, it can be really toxic. I don't need to tell you that, but that's another story for, another day. But you really have had that outpouring, at least it seemed like that for me as a viewer. What has that been like to be on the receiving end of that? I know you just kind of touched on it, but has that made going home a lot better for you, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it's that little extra, Like I think I went on because it's a great opportunity first and foremost, but like everyone kind of seeks that validation in so many different places with their drag. Like it's also important to us. So when I was there, I got validation from Rue and the judges. Like that was like tick, great, that's done. No matter what the fans think of me and my drag, I know that they enjoyed it when I was there, and I got really high praise. But to see then that it's translated into the universe, and like the majority of people are really on my side and really we're like Team Bonnie up until the end, it's like, you know what? I couldn't have asked for more. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, there's one viral tweet. I don't know if you've been on social media yet today, but there was one that really made me laugh. Have you seen the Candy Muse exit in the American one when Rue's like, "No, Candy, wait, I can't you lose." Why am I doing an American accent? I can't lose you yet, or something
Candy,
like that.
wait, Candy. Yeah.
That's the one. And everyone, no, I was about to say everyone's saying it. There was one viral tweet, but a lot of people were engaging with it who were like, everyone was thinking that was what was going to happen. Were you shocked by this outcome?
I was prepared for anything, and I went into Drag Race being very like aware of the fact that however it's gonna go is gonna go. And I can go into this and I can prepare as much as I want, but if I'm gonna go home first, I'm gonna go home first. If I'm gonna go middle of the road, I'm gonna go middle of the road. And if I'm gonna win the whole thing, I'm gonna win the whole thing. It's exactly how the universe has done it for us. I'm not very spiritual, but I'm very like a believer of we live in the one timeline, and it's only ever gonna go one way. We can do things that put us on the right trajectory and the right path. But realistically, there's only one thing that's ever going to happen. And in this particular timeline, this multiverse, Bonnie and Clyde was eliminated in the makeover challenge, So I knew going into this week that this was going to be my hardest week because of the outfit that I brought. It was I got it very last minute, and the concept wasn't overly great. So I was like, okay, I knew. So if I had to lip sync, I was going to do this week. I thought potentially like, okay, I have the two wins. Is that going to help in the decision in keeping me? And I think I did a really good job in the lip sync. But as we've seen with Drag Race before, it's up to Rue. And if Rue's not feeling it that day, she's like, hit it. Thanks for coming. You did great in Snatch Game. Goodbye.
Yeah.
It's like, so again, I think when I was there, it was very like, okay,
Mm.
sure. Like it is what it is. And I just have to accept and move on because yeah, it is what it is. I can't change that. I'm not gonna sit here and be bitter Betty about it. I had a great run. I had a great time, and in a way, I've kind of won my own kind of competition, which is like going on and proving that I can do a really good job at Drag Race, and I did that. Like, they're done. Happy days.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get that. I think also like you just kind of touched on. I mean, you won Snatch Game, babe. You literally got told it was a masterclass, which I think he's only said to people like Jinx Monsoon before. So that kind of tells you the tier he was looking at it in. And I think, like you said, Well, firstly, your timeline comments was making me think of Final Destination, but like a nice version, where all like the
Ooh,
timelines probably
it
match.
felt like Final Destination when I was there.
Yeah, honestly, I can only imagine. I can only
It was
imagine.
a train crash for sure.
Oh, stop, stop, stop. But look, talking about this week's episode, the makeover challenge. I actually think, as if me about to say, as if I've done any of these challenges, but I think it looks like the hardest challenge, even more so to an extent, in a different way to Snatch Game. But you know what I mean. When you got there and you're partnered with the Huns and whatnot, how did you feel initially? Were you like, okay, this is good, this is bad? Like, what were your initial thoughts in the workroom once you got put with David?
Well, like I said, I already knew going in when I'd arrived and I had my outfit. Like you can only prepare so much, and I think there's things I could have done differently to maybe change the concept, bring a different outfit. But like I said, timeline wise, when you're getting all these runways ready and you get something 2 days before you have to leave, it's like I don't have time to do anything else. I can only do what I can with this outfit. It is what it is. So I knew this was going to be a hard week. And again, I'm not like a sewer. I'm not particularly great at altercations and everything. So I don't know why I brought a suit. Like that's the first thing. I was like, why did I bring a half suit, which I knew would need work regardless of who I got. It was always going to have to be fitted to someone, and I think this was always going to be my week to be in the bottom.
Okay.
So in that sense, I am so happy that I got David because David is just such an incredible person. Lights up the room wherever he is. And then when we were there, fully committed to my vision and my concept, and was happy to do anything that I asked, and was just happy to be there. And I think in the performance side of it, we like they told us on the runway we had the best performance. And I'm like, with what I had brought and what we did, it went the best it could have gone.
Yeah.
So I can't fault it. I had the and like David's incredible. So just to have David as the partner and to be there, yeah. No, I like it was great, honestly.
To me, though, I think there's just something to be said about the fact that you had this really creative concept. You didn't play it safe. You didn't go in there thinking, okay, I can just, because you could have, I think it was at Brewers last night, you made a joke about like, I could have just thrown on was it a caftan or something? You could have. And, maybe we'd still be sat here because then you'd get in trouble for, playing it safe or whatever. But I think there's something to be said about going in and having that creative swing, even if it does slightly miss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, listen, we hit some of the markers. Like we were told it was family resemblance, and we were told we had a great performance. It was just obviously the execution was sloppy and in the makeup or whatever. But yeah, we didn't and I think as well we did like I definitely deserved to be in the bottom that week. I wasn't delusional about it. I was very like, okay, yeah, I knew I was, so it's fine. It's fine. Um,
I swear.
but it's just that thing of like you go in and then okay, well I still have this opportunity to then perform and save myself. So I was kind of just focused on that. I think towards the end of it when I knew how it was going to go, I was like, well I'm just gonna do my best lip sync then, and if they want to keep me, they want to keep me.
Mm,
If they don't, they don't, and
mm,
that's it. Like I said, it is what it is.
mm. But I have to ask you something. How much of your time did go on alterations? Like roughly, I know you probably don't know the exact, but like percent wise, would you say? Because when in the edit, it looked like when everyone was getting ready in makeup, you were still sewing.
Yeah. So we had the first day was a lot of interactions with the Huns. Obviously we wanted to get to know them. We wanted to talk through everything and stuff. We needed to do the runway walk and the walk in heels and stuff like that. So once that had all wrapped, I think I had maybe about 20 minutes to fit everything or to like hold like get the outfit on David and try it and see like okay, how's this going? And then I think I had about an hour before we left to go home, brought the sewing machine and all that stuff back to the hotel. And I have to say, like, every single person in that cast, all of the girls helped me. And it
Oh,
didn't
that's
make
nice.
the edit on the main stage. I thanked each and every one of them because it genuinely was a group effort because the outfit I brought it obviously wasn't fully put together because it had to be measured up on someone.
Yeah.
So the girls were sewing buttons on, they were gluing the stones on the back, they were helping with different things. Alexa gave me advice on the sewing and stuff in the pants, and like all of the girls helped me in some way or another. So I have to give it up to each and every one of them. Uh,
Yeah.
but then when we got back in the next day, obviously then it needed to be finished because
Yeah.
I couldn't sew it up completely without David there. And I think we had 4 hours to get into full drag.
Wow.
And I spent I think
Both
about
of
an
you
hour.
though. That's not just you, is it?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Both. I think I had about an hour and a half I sewed, and then I had about the 2.5 hours to do both of our faces and get us both into full drag. So it was a rush job by the time we were actually getting on. So I think that's why the makeup wasn't as good as it could have been, and yeah, like but I think from looking at it, and everyone there as well said it, from the time that I had, the time limits that I had to do what I had to do, we did it. The main thing was David was wearing an outfit by the time we hit the runway. And yeah, so we did the thing.
Well, look, moving on from the actual elimination, because to be honest, it's such a small part of your actual experience on the show. I think something that I've loved watching is, and when I first met you, it was via Miss Chanel O'Connor, one of my faves, and she said how creative you are and whatnot. And obviously, I didn't know that much about you at that point, but seeing on the show your way of thinking and your approach, it's so unique. And I said it to Sally a few weeks ago, but we're on season 7 of this show, babe. Like, it's so hard to come on here now and show something that hasn't been presented in some form or another before. And you really have done that. I mean, when I was thinking about your talent show, I don't think you understand how funny I found. Like, even just doing Cher as a chair, like what the hell? Like what? Tell me a little bit about your creative process. Like, how do you come up with these things?
I like a lot of the time I go with my gut instinct. Like if something gets presented to me, I'm like, okay, what's the first thing I can think of? Because that's generally the most effective thing. And I think with Drag Race, because it's been on for so many years and we've had so many different franchises and hundreds of girls at this stage who've been doing a lot of the same challenges for so long, I think I really just try to think about what can I do that's going to be unique and different, but still be true to myself. And I think like with the talent show, for example, like that was obviously a parody of all the other talent shows that we've had before. Also, it's to cover up the fact that I'm genuinely not talented outside of drag. Like drag is my drag is my talent. So I'm
But
like,
that's a huge talent, though, babe. I wouldn't diminish it like that. That's
it's just
still, it's a major thing.
well, I guess yeah, my talents are in the creative process and the production and the writing and then the performance side of things. So that was how I wanted to express that. And then with like Snatch Game, it was like we've seen so many characters and it's been done well so many times. And just how can I tweak it just a little bit so that it's fresh and new, but it's still relevant and Ru will still like it and stuff like that. So my brain's just a little bit of a whirlwind of what if I did that and da 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 and who and would it come across and it's all these different questions. It never stops.
I love it. Are you proud of yourself, Bonnie? Because you should be.
Absolutely. No, I think like I said, it can go any way when you go in this, and I knew it was a gamble going to do it. And I'm very like thankful that my like sense of humor and my sense of style and all these different things that make me kind of me read quite well on TV. I think I'm very lucky that my drag is quite accessible, even if it is a little bit more out there. Like I think aesthetically I'm quite easy to consume, but the comedy's a little bit different. So the fact that it just worked for TV, is it's such like it's a coincidence at the end of the day. Like I'm just so lucky that it works so well. It is what it is.
I love it. Well, look, we are a little bit tight on time, so let's do some quick fire questions, shall we?
Oh, I love quick fire.
We love quick fire. We love quick fire. Right. Let's talk Snatch Game. I actually didn't ask Paige this because she spoke about it on the show, but who would you have done if you didn't do Cher as a chair?
So my backup was Ardal O'Hanlon, who plays Father Dougal on Father Ted. So thank you, Graham Linehan, for that. I had a great time auditioning as your character. They got me on the show. And the whole idea was that he was basically just going to be like obviously like the dopey like priest who like didn't really know where he was. It was going to be like, oh, welcome to Snatch Game, Marlon. He'd be like, oh, hiya, can I get curry cheese chips and a Fanta orange? And it would just be, no, this is the Snatch Game. And he's like, oh, well, in that case, I'll just have a garlic cheese chips and a Coke.
Camp, camp. I love it.
I'm just like, I just drew a picture of a dog.
Yeah,
That kind
we
of
did,
stuff. Where
but
it's just like,
yeah, I
what's
love it.
going on?
And look, push the button might be a bit triggering for you now, but what would be your what would be your dream lip sync song if you could pick one?
I was so annoyed that my lip sync song was not Don't Rain on My Parade.
Yeah, I know. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Like, cause when we got the list of songs, I was like, that's the song for either for me in the bottom or it's for when I'm in the finale and it's the top two lip sync.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that.
That was very the vibe. So that's my drag, like
Yeah.
fully.
And who would be your dream guest judge?
I'm gonna be like, I just have to say Lady Gaga. Like that's like if we're being like she's obviously not like a Drag Race UK girl, but like if I just had to pick someone, it'd be like, yeah, put her there because I want to meet her and I want her to see. This dress is actually like inspired. I'm not gonna stand up because I'm also in my pajamas. But this dress is very like Lady Gaga jazz in Vegas inspired.
I love it. Well, don't worry. From the waist down, we're both in a unique position here on this call that no one else will ever
Oh.
see. Who was the kindest queen this season?
Honestly, the girls have all been so like we say it all the time. I think we can't talk about it enough how much we all get on with each other and how kind everyone is. But It's so hard to say because I don't want to say one single person because like I said, in that challenge, every single one of those girls helped me. And we all had each other's backs. By that point, it was like so absolutely. I can't say a single one. Absolutely every single one of those girls is so special and so talented and such a kind, generous individual.
Oh, we've got an audition for Miss Congeniality going on the call right now. No. Right, listen, you might have an
Give
easier
me the
time with this
title.
one, or maybe you won't. Who was the shadiest?
Oh, Catherine Feelings, Toast to the Ceilings.
Oh, we're getting a
Makes
few Catrins this
makes
season.
Viola go wild.
Well, no, I think Niall Bella described it as emotional warfare or something
Yeah.
like that.
Catherine's funny, it takes a while to warm up to her sense of humor, and she's very like she loves poking the bear. And I've been known to poke a few bears in my time, but she loves to do it a lot more. So that it takes a while to get used to her sense of humor, and then once you're on board, you're like, okay, I see you. That's fine. But at the start, you're like, bitch, I don't know you. What did you just say?
Literally, literally. And look, if you weren't on Drag Race, babe, what show would we see you on?
Birdwatch.
Watch
Spring
Prime.
spring watch. I don't know. God, what would I be on? I'd be on like I said, drag is my talent. I don't know. I don't even say Big Brother because I feel like I'd be a horrible person. I'd be
Oh
so bored.
gosh.
I'd just be sat there like the whole time, like thinking about chair. I don't know.
Honestly. And look, lastly, Bonnie, like I said, you've had such an amazing run and you should be so proud of yourself. But now you have this under your belt and it's all aired. Well, say all aired, there's still two more episodes, but and we know you're booked for all of them, which we love now we've seen the preview. But what is next for you?
There's a few things in the works. There's some exciting things that the fans are really going to enjoy. So stick around for announcements and stuff like that. But I think where I see myself now is just like I've kind of proved on the show that I can do certain things, and I would love to get into more TV and film, and I would love to tour the world and meet everybody. I was we have who knows, we might do the Chairwell tour at some stage. And bring her all around and bring that chair. Hopefully, it doesn't get lost in luggage. But the drag race is great, but the real race happens now, and it's like, what can I do with this opportunity that I've been so fortunate to be given? And I just want to take every opportunity that comes my way. I just want to do every single gig. I want to work all the time. Like it's. I don't want to take it for granted. Like this is my moment.
Yeah. Well, look, congratulations, Hannah. It's been so lovely speaking to you. I mean, it's a shame it's not the winner chat, but you know what? Doesn't feel far off it. So there you go.
But listen, Drag Race All Stars, it's coming. Well, I don't know if it's coming.
Well, no, I mean, literally, no one
That's
knows if
not
it's
me
coming.
being
So
like
yeah,
it's
don't say
happening.
that because that's going to be opening Pandora's box. But no.
Ooh, no, but it listen, who knows? Maybe I'll pop back again and try and top chair. And who wants to top chair?